everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Asda 2, and this is a free-to-play anime-style MMORPG, and it is the follow-up game to the original Asda story. You can see right now, we're going to jump right in. I've already got my one character that I kind of play-tested with a little bit and kind of got an understanding of the game, but we're going to create another one so you guys can see the character creation. So let's go ahead, and you've got these three little options here. We're going to go ahead and pick that middle one, create our character. You can see you've got male or female. You can see the difference there. And then you don't have a lot of options, but this is very expected out of games like this. A lot of times you don't have a lot of options in your character customization when you begin the game or you create your character, and that's simply because these games have huge item shops with tons of costumes and stuff like that you end up using to really customize your character. So it's their way of monetizing the game. But let's go ahead and go with female. You guys know the name I'm going to choose, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And constellation, we'll select that. Now this doesn't have any bearing on the game, but I guess it's for your soulmate purposes, because you know the game does have a soulmate system where you can meet and date and get married and all that good jazz. So let's see what different hair options we have. Let's actually change our hair color first. Let's see if they've got something funky. No, everything's pretty standard, so we're going to go ahead and go with that one. And then let's see, can we turn her to this side? There we go. So we've got a ponytail option, we've got this braided option. Let's see what else we have here. We're just going to go with that one. Nothing too crazy, but I'm guessing that there'll be other hair options once we get into the game and look at the at the player shop. So, in face-wise, you have a few options, but once again, nothing that's really going to blow your mind as far as character creation is concerned. So we're going to go ahead and create and jump right in. So there we go. And you can see we start as a novice. Now, we're going to go ahead and go in and we'll talk about that for a second. The novice factor is pretty simple because essentially what happens as you progress through the game, you're going to level up. And the game does have several jobs. And depending upon your first job that you choose, then that progresses on to other jobs. But your first option is really just three different options. You can choose to be a warrior, an archer, or mage. And then as you break those down, you're going to have different selections inside of those. Now, it's weird because you have the mage instead of a caster, which the mage can break down into attack, support, or healing. And then the archer can break down into a crossbowman or a bowman. And then the warrior can break down to one-handed sword, two-handed sword, or spear. And then they each have their own individual job advancements as far as those are concerned. So we've got this little guy over here. He's telling us, would you like to learn the basic controls? Nope, I have a pretty good understanding. So you can see we've got some weather going on right now. It is raining. Now this is one of the big differences between this and the original is that they do have weather. They do have night and day. They do have stuff like that. So we've got our first quest. We can just go ahead and click on her. And you can see her little avatar pops up here, and let's go next, and let's pick up our quest. She wants us to go kill some wolves, and we'll get some pants. So let's hit OK. And what's cool about this is we can use Q, bring up our quest log. We can just go ahead and click on the name, and we'll take off and run in the direction of picking up of heading over to these young wolves and be able to take them out. But on our way, we've got another quest we can pick up. You can see on the map, quests that you need to pick up will have these little exclamation point boxes. So we're going to break off of our little pathing there and pick up this quest as well because he wants us to take out some young parasols. So alright, I'll be back and we'll get another item, so we can very easily just go hit that and take off in that direction as well. Now if we bring up the map, we can see where we're going to actually head, and right now we're heading down into this water. We're going to do a little swimming first because of the pathing is, instead of taking me across that bridge, it decided to take me down to the water. But now that we're outside, we can see there's the young parasols. Let's see, and we're actually passing up the young wolves. We'll hit them up on the way back. So we start with some real, because since we're a novice, we start with some real basic and generic skills. We've got a basic attack, we've got a bash skill, and then we've got the arrow strike. And let's see, do we even have a bow equipped? To be able to do that, we don't. Now, all of our general gear is going to drop into this general saddle, which we've got our gold, we've got our potions, and then we've got beginner's quiver and beginner's return scroll, and then we've got this gear, and we can change out. We do have a beginner bow, so we can change out and use the bow if we want. But you know what? We're going to get hand-to-hand for now. So let's go ahead and jump in there, and here's our skill. Let's use our bash. That's it. So we've got a little cooldown going on that. Oh, and we actually took him out. It's nice they automatically put the item pickup right there, so we can just pound away on 2 after we take these guys out. So let's go ahead and take out some more of these guys. while we look at some other stuff. If we go ahead and bring up K, we can see we've got our skills there. We can just tab while we're looking at this and just go ahead and hit a skill or hit attack, and we'll attack the next one. So it's kind of cool. We can just keep doing that while we're looking at other stuff. So you can see right now we don't have any jobs available. We do have this this fourth job. It brings up everything. But there's our basic skills. Once we choose our first job, like I said, we'll be able to choose between a warrior type, an archer type, or a mage type, and then be able to progress through all of that. But once we progress and as we level up, we're going to get skill points, and then we'll be able to assign those to those different skills up to a certain point. So that's kind of a cool little system right there to be able to assign those skills and pick and choose. We can kind of customize our character a little bit with that. So it looks like we've actually completed the young Paracels, so time to head back. Now we can close this out. What's really nice, we can move around with WASD. We can also take and point and click. So we can click far off into the distance, and actually select where we want to run off to. Or we can select one of these monsters from a distance and go ahead and hit one of our skills or hit attack, and we can cruise in that direction and start our attack. If you hit P, you can see you can bring up your pet storage. That's always nice. You know that later on you're going to be able to have access to pets that'll fight for you, and they'll be able to level up and get skills and stuff like that. As you can see, owner's ability rises and all of that good jazz. This guy's probably going to ask us if we want to join his group, as we're both taking out the same thing. But we just need 2 more of these guys. We'll let him have that one. We can go find another one. There's one over there. We can go get that guy. But I really like the fact that you could just take and pick which one of the quests you want to do. Just click on the monster. You can also take, and once they're complete, you can click on the guy that gave you the quest and be able to complete that real nice and easy by just running over in his direction. And you can see all that stuff. Real simple though. It's really funny. You bring up you hit C. You bring up your character status, and you've got your action bar, which you can do a few different actions and stuff like that. The status is more important right now. You can see our basics. We already are level 2. Let's start running in this direction. Actually, we're going to go to this guy first. You can see we already are level 2. We're still a novice because we don't have that first job advancement. We can see our hit points, our mana. We can see how much experience we are. We can see our weight. We can change our introduction, so you can type that in and get a general idea. So you can let people know when they view your character what you got going on and kind of how you feel. Kind of little role-playing aspects. It's kind of neat. You can see other players run around. This guy's level 14. You can already see he's kind of tricked out a little bit. He's got a little sword and shield. Let's turn in this quest real quick. So you can see once you've completed a quest, it'll go to a red exclamation point, not only here, but also on your map. We'll take a look at that in a second. We got a novice coat for completing that. So, alright, thanks. So that's completed. Let's go ahead and click this one. Head over in that direction. We've got a couple little markers here. So this guy asked me to be his soulmate. So, you know what, I'm going to refuse. He got a little hot and heavy for me, but he doesn't know that behind the scenes of every good female character in an MMO game is a guy at the keyboard. So we've got a little post box. It looks like we've got a little supply package. So let's go ahead and let's see. We double click to take that. Move to inventory. There we go. So once we click the checkbox, which it automatically was, we just moved to inventory. Let's go ahead and complete this quest and get the next one. We'll take a look at that. So we got our novice pants, received his reward, and we leveled up. We're now level 3. So the game is moving me up the levels pretty quick. So it shouldn't take too long before we reach that first actual job advancement. Let's take a look at our map and see if there's any other quests we can get. There is one right there. So it's kind of cool. We can just click on the map, head over in that direction, and it brings up this little small map that actually it looks like we didn't get a quest from her. So we're gonna go back and get the last quest from her before we move on. But it's kind of cool. This little map shows up. You can close it by just hitting the little X. You can also see your quest objectives right here in your little sidebar. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Let's get all this. So thanks. All right. So we've got that's already complete. So that's kind of cool that we went back because it actually wants us to head down in this direction, and we're going to turn in that quest that we just got to the person that we're going over here to get this other quest from. So that's kind of nice. Let's see what else we have here. Actually, where the hell are we going? So, shop law. I don't know why we started to cruise off in a different direction. I must have clicked the wrong one. But there we go. Let's go next. Hit yes. Okay. And alright. So we got the quest. End chat. And let's see. We completed this. let's go to this character. That character must be outside. Oh, no, it's actually right over here. We can turn that in, and looks like we'll probably get pretty close to level 4 with this one. Let's go turn that in. Next, it's pretty cool that they have all these separate avatars, so you can kind of see these different characters up close, see the different outfits they're wearing and stuff like that. So, all right, right here to be able to buff up different items that we have, and you'd see right here, if we use this one, we'll get +2 to strength. If we use that one, we'll get +2 to stamina. We also have our gear or premium, and this is where we got our novice pants, so we can double click on those and equip them, and there we go. We also have a little traveler shovel, so we can dig up items buried in the ground. Digging can be started through the digging button and the extra menu. So let's see, where's the extra menu? So we've got our character info, which we took a look at. We've got our inventory, we've got our skill book, we've got our quest log, we've got community, extra menu. So what items do we have here? We've got a title menu, so we could select titles that we earn. We've got our soulmate menu, so we can find soulmates that we can hook up with. We've got gear disassembling, so we can actually disassemble gear and start to get items that we can use to then create or assemble other gear. We've got our pet menu, which we took a look at, post box, we chose save location, private chat, shoveling. You must equip a shovel first. You know what, we're not going to do that. Let's go ahead and continue on. Here's our little young leaves. So let's start attacking these guys and see if we can take them out real quick. There we go. So you can see we've leveled up a couple times, but we still don't have any available points, but that's basically because we don't have any skills. So we've got to get our first our first job advancement before we can Alright, so thank you. We went ahead and completed that. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. So learning about Sal, so we need to go back to the instructor and we're going to get another item. But while we're on the subject of items, let's see what we got here. So we got this supply package. So we can right click and we can announce to everybody, or we can just double click and open it up and we get some potions and stuff like that. So why wasn't I able to get that? Open the package. Unable to use the item. Item's current level is higher than yours. So what level is the item? Level 5. So I need to get a few more levels and then we'll be able to use that. So let's turn this in and get level 4. She asked me to thank you, and then we're gonna get a bunch of different stuff. This option Sal strength and option Sal stamina, these are to be able to buff up actual items that you have, which is kind of cool. So there we go. So we didn't get up to level 4, but let's go ahead and see what else we've got. You've reached novice adventure quest. All right, I'll be back. So where are we heading? We need field parasol, learning about gear, field wolf, and then we need young leaf edge. I'm gonna guess that they're all out in the same area, so let's go take all these guys out. How many do we need of each? I'm gonna guess it's probably around 5. So 5, 5, and 5. All right, so they keep that nice and simple. We need 5 of each. We can look at our map and see we've got a nice little legend here to tell us what each of these guys have going on. We've got the Sal shop. That's where you use those Sals that we got. We can actually start to see some of these skills come into play. We're gonna just keep beating away on these guys while we look at some of these other things. You have a nice encyclopedia which you could take and you could see all the different things: continent and function, Alpion the city, monster and item. You can see the different items that monster will drop. So you could take, and if you're essentially looking for something, you can, or if you have to go out and fight something, you can see if they're going to drop the item that you want, or an item that you need, or something like that before maybe you buy it. It's also good, you can use it to grind away, I guess you could say, if you want to and you really want to get that item. And I'm about to die here, I better use a healing potion. So there we go, use a nice little potion, pretty much healed me all the way. The game is kind of cool that it starts you with a bunch of healing potions and a bunch of mana potions, even though I'm not using too much mana right now, especially since I don't have a lot of skills. They're gonna drain me of mana, so to say. So there we go, we've completed that. Let's go take a look at some here's some of the field wolves that we need to take out. So we can just cruise right over here, and there, I bet you, there's the field parasol. So these guys are all kind of nice and close by. It's kind of cool that the game gets you not only right immediately into the action as far as the combat is concerned, but it also gets you leveling up really quick and keeps them all nice and close. I hate that when you get into certain games where you're taking and you're running just for ages to get to the monsters that you need to fight, or different places in town. I like it when they keep everything nice and compact. I really see zero reason for things to be that spread out and stuff like that. So there we go. There's our second one. Let's see, web mall. So I'm guessing I have to actually leave the game's interface interact with the mall and do stuff like that. So we're not going to do that. We can also use this to find a party, so we can see players that are in the area. Party leader, that was the guy before that invited me to the group. So if we want to jump into a party, we can see who's close by and just jump in with them, or invite people to party, or whisper, hey, say, hey, I want to join your group. So we are actually running low on mana doing all this fighting. So let's see, one more of these guys, pick up all the stuff he dropped. Let's see if there's anything exciting that he's dropping for us. Nope, it's all pretty much a bunch of stuff that Regent, which can be used to obtain from monsters in digging. D-rank essence from obtained from monsters in digging. So it looks like there's a bunch of different items that we get for when we go over and we start crafting and using those sows and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but it could very well be. So we've got a couple of different dances here. Any game that has a dance is always going to be a good game in my mind. But it's nice to see that the game does have a population. You see people running around playing the game and stuff like that. Graphically, the game, I wouldn't say is leaps and bounds above its predecessor, but it definitely distinguishes itself away from its predecessor with some enhanced graphics, stuff like that. Having the weather effects is always a cool feature. It's always nice to see rain. I don't know if there's going to be areas that we get into where it's going to snow and stuff like that, but it may. Having night and day is always nice, but it doesn't seem to affect, it's pretty dark in the sky right now. It doesn't seem to affect the bright nature of the graphics and stuff like that. So not too big of an effect as far as having the darkness and all of that good jazz. What's really crazy though is I'm not gaining a ton of experience for actually killing these guys. So all the experience early on is really gained from turning in the quests. So you're going to really want to pay attention to that. Make sure you do the quests and just get the little bonus experience that you get from taking out the different monsters. Sound-wise, there's always music playing, and kind of creates a little bit of background, and doesn't have the boredom and stuff like that. You have good sound as far as the attacks and all of that good jazz. So definitely sound-wise, it's on par with other games. Definitely seems a little bit grindy as far as that's concerned. But there are a ton of quests that are going on right now. So I would say the grind is complemented by a solid quest system. So it looks like we've completed all of our quests. Speaking of quests, and we can just go ahead and click there and we'll run back. You can see they've got these fish right here, so we can head off and go fishing over there. You can do different stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Break up the different aspects of the game, so to say, if you want to take some time and go do that type of stuff. What are these ASF? Let's see, can we click on these at all? No, can't click on those. Not exactly sure what those are for. Maybe one of you guys in the comments can tell me exactly what the ASF is for. But guys, I am out of time. I hope you enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. If you'd like to play or learn more about Asda 2, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.